Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 27. When 14-year-old George Stinney was executed via electric chair, he was too short for the chair, so he used his Bible as a booster seat. He was later found out to be innocent. In the 1600s, Athanasius Kircher invented a musical instrument made out of cats. He would place them in a row according to the tone of their voice, stretching their tails under a keyboard made out of sharp nails. Texas had absolutely no regulations on natural gas until 1937, when a school blew up, killing 295 students and teachers. No one was held responsible, and the event was so bad that even Hitler sent a letter of condolence.
Most Scary Urban Legends, Part 4. This is Kuchisaki Onna. This is a woman who died and came back as an evil spirit. This is her story. She used to be the most beautiful woman in her town, and every single man wanted her. But she picked a very skilled samurai. Later, he had to go to war, and she became very lonely. She then fell in love with another man, because she was tired of waiting for her husband to come home. Her husband then came home. He was so enraged he killed the man she was with and slit her mouth with his sword so she could never be beautiful again. She then bled out and died. Now her spirit has come back for revenge. She wears a mask to cover her scars. She wanders across the street looking for victims. She then says to them, "Am I beautiful?" If you say yes, she then takes off her mask and says, "Am I beautiful?" again. If the person gets scared or screams or says no, she will get a very big pair of scissors and cut your face just like hers. But if you say yes both times, with no fear, she will leave you alone.
Imagine meeting a plastic surgeon who promises to give you the perfect body by performing multiple surgeries on you. But when you tell him the price of the surgeries are too high, he says he doesn't want your money. Instead, he wants to take your organs as payment. He clarifies he'll only remove your non-essential organs. But you're starting to feel trapped, realizing you don't actually know much about this surgeon, and you're alone in his private plastic surgery clinic. So you ask to use the bathroom trying to get out of the situation, and he tells you it's the room down the hall to your right. But when you enter that room, you see that it's not the bathroom but a surgery room. The door locks by itself, and a mysterious gas starts filling up the room, making you feel dizzy. You pass out on the floor of the surgery room and wake up on the bed, as the surgeon is already operating on you. So what will happen once the surgery is over? This short film is called Plastic, and I thought especially the ending was very unique and surreal. But let me know what you thought and follow for more.
No, 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 silly, to dry it. But it exploded, and they were both found dead.
I only just learned about the Stephen Hawking cheating on his wives scandal, and I'm genuinely speechless. This man may have been bound to a wheelchair, unable to speak or move, but bro's love life was active. He married his first wife, Jane, in 1965, when they were both in their early 20s. They then remained married for 25 years while Jane fed him, dressed him, bathed him, and sat with him through his many hospital visits and near-death experiences. That was until he fell for his carer, Elaine, who was also married at the time. Stephen then divorced Jane and remarried Elaine in 1995. He remained married to Elaine until, yet again, he fell for another one of his carers. This time, his new carer, Diana, was 39 years younger than him. His marriage with Elaine ended in 2006, and while he did get engaged to Diana, he worried another marriage would cause problems with his 3 children, so he ended up backing out.
The legend of
the Bunny Man.
The Bunny Man is a scary legend about an escaped mental patient who haunts a bridge in Clifton, Virginia.
After the Civil War, Fairfax County, Virginia became more populated, and eventually an insane asylum was built there.
No one wanted to live near the asylum, and because of the public outrage, the institution was shut down.
The administration transferred the patients, and in 1904 the process was completed. During the transfer, some of the patients escaped and hid in the surrounding woods and forests.
These individuals were lost, delusional, and dangerous. Most of them were found except Marcus Loster and Douglas Griffin. The local authorities found a trail they believed belonged to them, littered with half-eaten, mutilated bunnies.
The trail led deep into the woods to a tunnel bridge crossing a wide creek. There they found Marcus hanging from the tunnel entrance.
There was a note attached to his foot that said, "You'll never find me no matter how hard you try. Sign, the Bunny Man." That tunnel has been called Bunny Man Bridge ever since.
The legend says that if you walk all the way down the tunnel at around midnight, the bunny man will grab you and hang you from the entrance of the bridge.
In 2001, after hearing the tale, 6 local students and a guide searched the area. They found mutilated bunny parts during their search and left the force after they heard noises and saw figures moving around in the woods.
Leave me alone!
Scary things you wish you never knew. The last one is crazy.
This Uber driver thought he was dropping off an old lady until something else appeared in his car. The face seems to be a woman with a droopy eye and another one closed.
Would you rather live in this apartment for $50 with all utilities included? Or date the 4th person who appears when you click share and then more. This cop pulled over a woman and she strangely disappeared.
Hey, how's it going?
I was speeding, wasn't I?
Yeah, and you completely blew past that stop sign in front of me.
Did
Alright, sit tight, Sarah. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Your registration is
Where did she go?
Sarah?
This could get scary, so I want to see. Using only emojis or GIFs, comment below what it would be like dating you. Before we get to the last scary thing, support this page by clicking the follow button for more interesting videos every day. Can someone tell me if this video is real or fake?
Please let me in. Huh? Please help me.
What? What's wrong with you?
If it is for me.
What?
It took my daughter.
Parker?
Please let me inside.
Parker!
Unexplainable mysteries that nobody can solve. Many people consider forests to be strange and sometimes creepy, but over the last 10 years, there have been a lot of eerie, similar sightings in woods across the world. Man-made staircases in the middle of the woods leading to nothing have been spotted all across the globe. Some of them are very small with about 4 or 5 steps leading up from the ground, while others are very complicated and intricate. Many people claim that they've seen these staircases miles and miles deep inside of the woods, which begs the question, why are they there? Lots of people believe that these staircases are a form of art, but some believe that these staircases could actually be leading to something sinister. So what do you think? Are these staircases portals to another dimension, or are they just there for show?
This is why you should be scared of that one person you're talking to online that you're about to meet in real life. Blanca Arellano, a 51-year-old Mexican woman, was looking for love. She met a Peruvian man named Juan Villafuerte on an online gaming app. And on the last day of October, she traveled 3,000 miles to Lima, Peru to meet him. She thought that he could be the one. On November 7th, while in the beach city of Huacho, where Villafuerte lived, Blanca spoke to her niece on the phone and told her that the relationship was going well and that she was in love. Then she went silent. Her niece suspected something was wrong after not being able to get into contact with her. She called for help on Twitter and reached out to Juan Villafuerte, who said that Blanca got bored of him and left to find a plane ticket back to Mexico, as he could not provide the life she wanted. But the truth was much, much darker. On November 10th, Peruvian authorities found a severed finger on the beach of Huacho. Then in the following days, they found a faceless head, and then an arm, and then a torso with no organs inside of it. They eventually identified Blanca Arellano via her family by the ring on her finger. Juan Villafuerte was arrested on charges of human organs trafficking. Authorities found traces of blood all over his apartment, and he reportedly posted TikTok videos of human organs days after Blanca's disappearance.
Have you ever heard of the Clown Motel? It's supposedly haunted by the ghosts of clowns. We were dumb enough to spend the night here last night. That was a big mistake. There's a huge cemetery right next to the motel. They say the ghosts walk over from the cemetery to the motel at night. This clown named Charlie was filmed moving by itself on ghost adventures. He moved something of ours on camera. Many of these clowns are said to be possessed by evil spirits. We definitely made a mistake coming here. We rented the 3 most haunted rooms, and we experienced some very scary paranormal activity. We got all of it on camera too. Follow me here on TikTok to see the scary videos that I recorded in here last night. I don't think I'd ever want to come back here again after what happened to us.
This is why you should fear for your life if you buy or sell items on Facebook Marketplace. 56-year-old Denise Williams of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, wanted to buy a refrigerator for her boyfriend. She found one listed on Facebook Marketplace. The seller was 26-year-old Joshua Gorgon. Denise went to his apartment alone to check out the fridge, but never came out. On Monday, she was reported missing by her family, and police were able to track her using her phone and information from a Facebook account. She was found dead from multiple stab wounds at Joshua's apartment. Joshua was arrested and charged with criminal homicide. When he was interviewed by Cambria County detectives, he admitted to stabbing Williams to death with a kitchen knife following an argument over the cost of the refrigerator.
This story stumped researchers. They found a mummified dog in the 1980s inside of a log. They were cutting off a chestnut oak tree, I believe, and they found a dog inside. It's speculated whatever he was chasing went inside the tree. He ran up there and got trapped inside. I find it amazing that nature can preserve a dog like this inside of a tree. Like, there's no special embalming or anything like that. But anyways, they named the dog Stucky. Very cruel, I know, but yeah. I already know I'm gonna get a comment saying he was barking up the wrong tree. I already said it, please. But imagine cutting a tree and seeing this. I would have thought this is some sort of werewolf looking at me. And if it wasn't a werewolf, I'd have been terrified anyways, because that thing looks so scary. But I truly feel bad for this dog, Stucky. I really wish someone would have found him, but this is a very cool scientific phenomenon that happened. Because he was inside of the tree and the wood kind of solidified everything up and trapped him in there, it protected him from the elements and kind of vacuum sealed him. I think this helped with the mummification of Stucky. And apparently he was so high up, no animals could smell him to eat him. Let me know what you guys think about this story. Did it stump you?
This guy is the real Humpty Dumpty, and his story is much darker than you think. Deep in the eerie town of Puddlebrook, Kentucky, resided Gilbert Eggman, a man plagued by misfortune. His tale took a sinister turn when he joined the construction crew. Perched atop a towering brick wall on his very first day, 3 co-workers, fueled by malevolence, sent the ladder crashing down. Gilbert's pleas for help fell on deaf ears. Desperate to rescue him, the trio resorted to a crane. But destiny had other plans. The crane, guided by an unseen force, struck Gilbert, sending him hurtling to a grim demise. The town whispered of Gilbert's curse. In the following months, darkness consumed Puddlebrook. One by one, the 3 construction workers met their untimely ends, each death shrouded in mystery. Gilbert's curse, it seemed, had unleashed its wrath upon them, becoming an urban legend in the small town.
Videos showing alleged skinwalkers. WTF, dear.
There's some cruisers, man. That's crazy shit. This guy's crawling at me like a goddamn... What's up, dude?
That ain't no buck.
I thought I seen a big buck or something. Wait, stop right there. What is that? Is that a buck? What is that? Dude, that's what... Wait a second. I think I see a...
Imagine if your father was a famous puppet maker and you witnessed his murder when you were a child. Then years later, you get into a terrible car crash and fall into a coma. But when you wake up, you begin acting like a child again and asking for your dead father. The accident has caused severe brain damage, and now you believe you're still a child even though you're physically an adult. And this childlike mentality includes believing that your father's puppets were real and could have saved him from being killed. This delusion leads you to kidnap multiple victims and dislocate their bones so they can become human puppets, and recreate the night of your father's murder to change the outcome. This is the story of serial killer Adam Rain from season 8, episode 10 of Criminal Minds. I recently started rewatching this show, and there's so many disturbing and bizarre stories that I forgot about. So let me know if you want to see more specific episode recommendations from shows like Criminal Minds, and follow for more.
I don't know about you guys, but my feed today has just been flooded with non-stop memes about Stephen Hawking. It has been only a matter of hours since the documents were released. People are so wrong for this. They say that this was Stephen Hawking when he heard about minors in Epstein Island. I mean, how are people gonna say Stephen Hawking as soon as he touched down on Epstein Island and then play that? Or that this was Stephen Hawking when he was close to nutting? Disgraceful. It only gets worse. Stephen Hawking on his way to the island. Once he lands, when his carer wasn't watching, when Epstein gave him the 2-for-1 kids special, and hands down the most outrageous one was this.
That feels so good.
Butler, who ran the TikTok account called Took Too Much. Yesterday morning, January 4th, 2024, he posted this chilling video. Right after it was uploaded at 7:37 a.m., he left the bathroom and opened fire inside Perry High School and Middle School located in Iowa, injuring 5 and taking the life of a 6th grader. Police were immediately notified, and upon arrival at the school, he took his own life. Not even a full day after the attack, his TikTok account was taken down. The type of content he posted was interesting. It is speculated the video he posted minutes before his attack had his pew-pew in his blue bag, thus causing TikTok to immediately ban his account. It has only been 4 days into the new year, and this stuff is already happening. Let me know your thoughts.
This is by far one of the worst ways somebody has ever died, and whatever you do, don't look up the picture. This was 35-year-old Jill Greninger, and she was employed at Economy Locker Storage Company that was in Muncie Township, Pennsylvania. And inside of this factory, they had a bunch of industrial-sized meat grinders. The meat grinder that was involved in this story, I don't know exactly what style it was, but every single picture I pull up has this type of design. On April 22nd, 2019, Jill Greninger was inside of the factory hard at work. And what unfolded next, nobody is 100% sure about. There weren't any cameras that saw it happen, and there weren't any human witnesses that saw it happen. Jill was on top of a rolling ladder above one of the meat grinders, and they either speculate that a piece of her clothing got caught in the blades, or she simply just slipped and fell into it. Regardless of how it happened, Jill fell into the meat grinder. She would fall headfirst into a bladed system like this. Another employee inside of the building heard some sort of horrific sounds coming from one of the machines. The coworker then went over and noticed that Jill fell into the meat grinder. Since Jill fell into the meat grinder head first, the coroner believes that she hopefully died almost instantly. The head portion of Jill's body was basically gone. After this incident, the factory was investigated, and they found 11 serious violations inside that factory, and because of these violations, the company was fined $49,000. This death is just so awful because can you imagine how terrifying those first few seconds were for Jill when she fell into the meat grinder? I also find it weird how the fine was so low, especially when these safety issues resulted in a death. But nonetheless, this death is absolutely awful, and may Jill Greninger rest in peace.
This is why these old cathedrals freak me out. So in Loudun, France in the 1600s, there was this cathedral. And one day, all of the nuns that worked there were complaining about having the same nightmare. All of them were seeing this shadowy figure that they referred to as the Cloth Man. He would appear angelic at first, but then would quickly turn demonic. This was terrifying the nuns, but it started getting so much worse. See, after these nightmares started happening, the nuns started showing symptoms of demonic possession. Mass hysteria broke out, and some of the nuns were able to bend over backwards so their shoulders were touching their ankles. It was also said that others were caught levitating. But these nuns thought they knew who was doing this to them. The head priest at this cathedral was a man by the name of Father Grandier, and he was accused of practicing black magic. He was eventually burned at the stake, but they were not able to exorcise the demons out of the nuns. And in fact, many of the men who tried to perform exorcisms suffered horrible fates, even claiming that Grandier's ghost was tormenting them from beyond the grave.
Scary things you never knew. The last one is crazy. Would you keep this dog if it was your pet?
It's not like when I go to work. I'll see you later, Peppy. I'll see you later.
Would you rather spend one night in this bathroom or kiss the second person who appears when you click share and then more? This man found something scary in his refrigerator.
Okay, so I just saw something moving in my refrigerator that shouldn't be. Hold on, there it is. So it's moving right there. I seen it. Hold on. It's moving. Yeah, no, I don't see anything else. I'm looking in the reflection too. I don't see anything. Now, what was that?
I'm sorry, I had to do it. I'm sorry. It's scary how only 1% of people can do this. None of you can spell your name one word at a time in the comments below without being interrupted. First person to do it wins. Before we get to the last scary thing, please support this page by clicking the follow button for more interesting posts every day. Can someone explain to me what this is?
Yeah, I have a new friend!
Time to go inside. It took just 2 days for Mickey Mouse to be made into a horror movie and a horror game. And we've just got the first look at both trailers. Now, the reason this is even possible is because US copyright law says that the rights to a character can only be held for 95 years. And as of January the 1st, anyone can now use Disney's earliest Mickey and Minnie Mouse characters without permission or cost. Because of this, we are now getting a horror movie called Mickey's Mousetrap, which essentially sees my boy Mick hunting down a bunch of teenagers at an amusement park. They say they expected to come out as soon as March, just 2 months away, indicating they had written, cast, shot, edited, and mostly finished the entire film just waiting for the copyright to lift. Now, the horror game is called Infestation Origins, where in the year 1988, what was thought to be an outbreak of rodents morphed into something far more sinister. The release date of the game is before GTA 6. So the question is, are you a fan of people horrifying Mickey Mouse or not?
A missing North Carolina teenager was just found hidden under a trap door in this man's home in a completely different state, and what he has to say about it is horrifying.
She hid on her own free will. She was actually in the bed when the officers first come in there. Her grandma kicked her out. She didn't appear to be that age. She had all kinds of piercings.
In December, a 16-year-old girl left her grandparents' home in North Carolina after a fight and disappeared. She was officially reported missing on December 6th, and her grandparents feared the worst. But what they didn't know was that 3 weeks prior to her disappearance, a 34-year-old man named Zachary Jones found the girl online and started talking to her. And he actually lured her from her home after the fight with her grandparents. Zachary then drove the girl all the way back to his home in Lincoln County, Kentucky, where he repeatedly sexually assaulted her and gave her drugs. Fast forward to Christmas Day. Zachary's mom called 911 to report a domestic violence incident between Zachary and who she thought was his girlfriend. And when police arrived at the home, he said the girl was not there. He was quickly cuffed and placed in the back of a cop car after authorities found drugs in the home. And when they went back inside to search for the girl, they found something incredibly disturbing. Locked inside of a trap door hidden under a rug in Zachary's bedroom was a young girl who authorities say appeared very high. After investigating, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office realized that the young girl was reported missing nearly a month prior out of North Carolina. According to the girl, whose name has not been released, she said that Zachary initially told her that he was 19 online, but when she met up with him in North Carolina, he looked much older. It was there that he said he was 25, and it wasn't until they got all the way back to his home that she found out that he was actually 34. The girl said that Zachary was always armed with a gun and that he forced her to tell his family that she was 18. He also threatened to kill her many times and proceeded to sexually assault her and give her drugs. Sometimes sometimes even strangling her during the assaults. When the girl was rescued, Zachary denied choking her and said that she hid in the trap door on her own free will. But the girl had very visible marks on her neck that proved otherwise. The victim also said that on their drive back to his house, they were pulled over by a cop, and Zachary told her that he would shoot the officer if they were asked to get out of the car. Zachary was arrested and is being held at the Pulaski County Jail, while the girl was taken to the hospital for treatment and was reunited with her grandparents. In an interview from jail, Zachary admitted to all of it, but said that she told him that she was 18. He said that she didn't look to be 16 as she had all sorts of piercings, and that he was helping her after her grandparents kicked her out, which was not true. Zachary is facing 30 different charges in just Kentucky, but he's also facing more charges in North Carolina as well. He's being held without bond, and judging by his lack of remorse, I truly hope that he never gets out, because this story is absolutely terrifying.